What's good? I'm back again, the biggest hater in the sport of boxing. Yo, real quick, just got done. I woke up 3 a.m. I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez. Yes, he is.
What's going on, people? So as you can see, Timothy Bradley came out with a video not too long ago of his opinion if the Canelo Alvarez and the Terence Crawford fight was to take place. And as you see in the video, he favors Terence Crawford. And that's his opinion and whatnot. The one thing about Timothy Bradley is that you got to give him credit for, whether you agree with him or don't agree with him, is that he's going to speak his mind regardless, and he doesn't even care what y'all say. Now, because he came out with this video, you have a lot of people online, especially on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, want to criticize Timothy Bradley, as well as criticizing anybody who's actually picking Terence Crawford to win. As a matter of fact, you got a lot of these guys that will sit up here and put the FBA tag on any black person that is going to support Terence Crawford. And you also have content creators who's actually making videos, giving their opinions. Some of them actually caught up in their feelings and everything else. And then you got people who making videos saying, well, what can Terence Crawford do to Canelo Alvarez when Canelo Alvarez has an iron chin? So I'm just going to address, a lot of these things, right? So, the people that's coming out putting this FBA tag on any black person or just anybody, doesn't even matter if they're black or not, because a lot of times you don't know what the person looks like on the internet, you know what I'm saying, especially if they ain't showing their face or whatever. And that's their business if they decide to show their face or not. I'm not really concerned about it because I don't really waste my time putting my face up there, because a lot of times you have a lot of trolls up there who likes to go out there and try to get you doxxed or call the cops or whatever, or make memes or, sit up here and give their whatever opinion because you don't agree with what they agree with. But anyway, they want to put the FBA tag on anybody that supports Terence Crawford. Now, I just want to touch on this real quick. Every person that's black don't support FBA. Now, as far as people saying foundational black American, descendant of slaves or whatever, I mean, there are black people here, including my ancestors, that are, descendants of slaves, but nobody, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to claim that group that was created, because to be totally honest with you, those groups that are created actually support racist people like you to shit on black immigrants that comes from wherever other country outside of America, if it's not from a Western world like the UK or whatever the case is. So the thing is I don't support any of these groups because it's a hate group at the end of the day. Why would I support a group that is funded by white supremacy to sit up there and you got one group that came out, and then you got the FBA, which is a split off another, a spin off another group, a splinter off or whatnot, and support. And they have the exact same ideology, which they are both supported by white supremacy. And this, you could actually look up to see who support them and how this thing all broke down and started. So basically, those groups have more hatred towards black people than they do any other race out there. Just like, some of y'all out there that's making these videos trying to clown the FBA movement, when those groups actually support your racist ass. So again, I don't support that group because, for one, like I said, it's a hate group. It's a hate group towards black people. And the thing is that if you don't agree with their ideology, they will be the first ones to call you a tether or any other name that they want to come up with just so they could kind of make themselves feel good. But not to get off track, that's why, when I see some of y'all that sit up here and put the FBA tag on any black person that supports other black people, I just laugh at y'all. Now, another thing is what I want to get to. Okay. Yeah, so another thing is you have people that would sit up here and try to minimize the opponents that Terrence Crawford fought. And the first thing they want to say is, well, he got rocked by Mean Machine, which he never got rocked by Mean Machine. Now, did Mean Machine officially, I guess, dropped him while Terrence Crawford was a little off balance or whatever? If you want to call it that and it was an unofficial knockdown, then sure. What happened after Terrence Crawford got up? Because he wasn't even hurt. You know what I'm saying? In that fight, he actually finished off the Mean Machine. Also, people want to refer to when Crawford actually got hurt against Yuriokas Gamboa, and he was actually hurt in that fight. In a fight that he was dominating, you know what I'm saying, knocking Yuriokas Gamboa down, but he got a little bit too greedy and he got caught. And the one thing about Gamboa, especially around that time, he was dangerous and he would punch in between punches, and he had quick, twitchy muscles and whatnot, and he was quick. Everybody knew that. He caught him, you know what I'm saying, with a clean shot. And Terrence Crawford was actually hurt, but managed to finish off Gamboa in the exact same round that he got hurt in. So that just goes to show Terrence Crawford got a lot of grit. And then also people always say, Terrence Crawford, if he gets hit, he wants to get his get back. Well, that's a lot of boxers, including Canelo. Canelo gets hit, he want to get a get back. It's no different than anybody else. But let's talk about the stuff that y'all don't want to cover, right? Because when somebody bring up, the fact that Canelo was rocked by when Canelo was rocked by Miguel Cotto, brother, everybody want to dismiss that and say, oh, that was a long time ago. It hasn't happened ever since. It doesn't matter, because the same, shit that y'all use on Terrence Crawford being hurt against Gamboa, which was over a decade ago, we could apply that same logic. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that if y'all want to apply that logic to Terrence Crawford, then we could apply that logic to Canelo Alvarez. At the end of the day, he was hurt. People want to say, well, he got punched by the bigger man and it wasn't hurt then. Well, okay, he got punched by a smaller man and got hurt. So it's not about being bigger or smaller or whatever, and it's not necessarily being punched by a hard punch and you survive or didn't survive. The fact of the matter is, if you get caught with a clean shot, I don't give a damn how much of a puncher or lack of a puncher you are. If you get caught with something clean and it hits you dead on a button, you're going to go down regardless. Just look at Munguia bump ass. This dude got knocked out by a dude with 4 KOs. Munguia got knocked out by a tune-up. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Boxing skills, me personally, I favor Terrence Crawford in the skills department. Now, does Canelo have advantages? Yes. He has the youth on his side, for one. Number two, he's a much bigger fighter. Now, I know people like to make, height, height comparisons or whatnot. Like this is like fights was based on height or some shit like that, like a height class or whatever. That's what they like to do. At the end of the day, it's a weight class. Now, I know people say weight class is there for a reason. Yes and no, because we seen throughout history, we seen smaller guys go from very small weight, some even went up to heavyweight and still dominate. So we can't always say weight classes for a reason. We also see there are heavyweights where it's over 200 pounds. And we see smaller heavyweights beat bigger heavyweights. Case in point, look what Usyk just did to Tyson Fury twice. He beat him. So that weight class is there for a reason, doesn't necessarily apply to everything. You know what I'm saying? When you got skills, you got skills. Now, I get it. When you're in a smaller weight, right, some people cut down from a lot and still be able to have some movement compared to what a person is, cut down from a lot, and it might come in a lot smaller. I get it. But that doesn't always apply. That doesn't always apply. But at the end of the day, Canelo does have a weight advantage. He does. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win. Another advantage, Canelo does have is he's already adjusted to the weight. So my only concern with Terence Crawford is, coming in at 168 to fight Canelo, how would Crawford just in general body will adjust to being at 168? Because that's the one thing he's going to be fighting against. But if I was Terence Crawford, I recommend him even coming in a lot lighter than 168. I would at least come in at I would come at 160. That's what I do. But I'm not Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? But just get your body used to it. Come in at 160, just so you can still have the mobility and everything else, so you don't feel as sluggish. But that's just my personal opinion. Maybe he feels that he won't be as sluggish or, carrying too much weight, fighting at 168 and whatnot, even though his body not adjusted to it. I get it. He sparred bigger guys, you know what I'm saying, in his camp and all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, that's sparring. Sparring and fighting are two different things. Now, advantages, like I said, I have for Terence Crawford is the fact of the matter, he's a much better boxer than people even give him credit for one. And a lot of people knows he's a much better boxer, but they just don't want to give him credit. Another thing is that his IQ is way better than, or what I believe is way better than Canelo. Now, Canelo does set you up and walk you down, but the thing about Terence Crawford is that he sets you up and he sets traps as well. And I think his traps are a lot better than what Canelo does. Now, Canelo going to have to walk Terence Crawford down because he's probably banking on Terence Crawford not moving the way he used to move as far as boxing and everything else. But Terence Crawford, if he's smart, he would just box him. Don't get into a slugfest and anything else. Now, I will say this. Another thing Terence Crawford does have the advantage in, but we have to see in this fight, is stamina. Terence Crawford has great stamina. My only concern is how is he going to carry that weight and will that stamina affect him? That's it. But other than that, he's very well conditioned and he's going to be in there, and while Canelo might throw one or two punches in and, load up, put all the power on one or two punches. After that, probably get on his defensive, the top movement. Terence Crawford is going to be on him. He's going to basically he could out-jab Canelo because Canelo does jab, but he doesn't have a better jab than Terence Crawford, in my opinion. But other than that, it'll be a great fight. I will just say this. Just imagine, because I know I put this on the internet as well. Just imagine when Terence Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez, how many excuses will be coming out from Canelo Alvarez fans? Just think about it. They made so many excuses for Errol Spence. The Spence fans, they made all these excuses. You got people on that article website, Boxing News 24, which is a pro, matter of fact, anti-Terence Crawford website, put it that way, and a pro PBC website, on top of that, that will sit there and discredit Terrence Crawford no matter what he does. Even though they might come out with the article saying Terrence Crawford is going to lose to this person before he fights him, but turns around when Terrence Crawford wins, will sit up here and make about 3 million excuses of why he won and why that person didn't beat Terrence Crawford. I mean, that's what they do at the end of the day. Not all the authors on there, or writers, I guess, does that, but damn near 95% of them. And then you got some people that use different aliases on that site and be putting the same shit like as if people don't recognize them. Christopher Williams. But we know how it is. It will be devastating to that website alone, because these same people, and it's not just Terrence Crawford they hate on, right? They like to follow the money, right? That's how they are. But the thing is that anytime somebody is fighting, they always want to throw in obstacles and say, well, how should he fight this person when he should fight that person before he fight that person? Like, they're the main ones that do that shit. And then you got these groupie fans who follow their lead and spew the same rhetoric. So the shit is just, like I said, is funny at the end of the day, but it's not. But anyway, that's all I got. Bold and understanding, I'm out. Peace.